Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
And this is your captain speaking, John Regan. No, Vincent is not in Gitmo. It's one of those things where real life steps in, and for Vincent it's doubly tough because he's a farmer. And plus, there's those real life things that just have to be handled, during the daytime, during the week, and when you're on the air, that ends up, being quite visible when you're not behind the microphone. And there's really only two ways of handling that. You either have a guest host, which is me today, or you play a replay. And we talked about it, and I really like to support Vincent and USA Prepares and make sure that all this good information gets to you. So, doing the neighborly thing and helping out while he gets done what he needs to get done. And just go ahead and finish with all the announcements for this hour. Our fellow USA Prepares instructor, Dr. Joel Wallach, is in Springfield tonight. He has a seminar on the ins and outs of health. That's at the Holiday Inn there on North Glenstone, just a little south of I-44. Registration's at 6 p.m. The seminar is at 7. The USA Prepares representative is Jim Stewart, and you can call him for more information at 417-863-7149. That's 417-863-7149. And the seminar is free. Also, next weekend, June 25th and 26th, a number of USA Prepares instructors will be at the RK Prepper Show, and it'll be at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. We have Dr. Rojala Miller, Matt Stein, Craig Douglas, and Vincent will be there as well. They're also having a get-together meet-up at Jimmy's Egg on Saturday, June 25th at 6 p.m. So a bunch of your favorite instructors will be there. I wish I could be. It's a Dutch treat, and dinner is available for less than $10. And Vincent would like you to email him, Vincent@usaprepares.com, if you plan on attending, and letting him know how many is going to be with you so they can reserve space. And if you would, please put USA Prepares Reunion in the subject line. And students, instructors, and guests are all welcome. Well, with us today, we have Brandon Williams, Iron Edison Batteries. Good morning, Brandon.
Hi, John. How are you today?
I'm doing good.
It's great to be back on the air with you. It's been a couple months since we had the pleasure of broadcasting together, and it's great to be back with you.
And if I remember, at that point, you were just getting ready to bring out a new battery, and you've since made an announcement on that, and that's why we're here today.
Exactly. We are proud to announce the launch of a new class of lithium-ion batteries. It's really the next generation of energy storage. So we're really proud of the work that our team is doing here in Colorado, and I'm excited to share with you and the listeners today more details about what goes into building a battery and how that battery fits into a solar or off-grid energy system.
And I know there's been a lot going on in battery technology. If you could tell us a bit about what's out there and how this battery compares to that.
Well, John, the traditional battery is a lead acid chemistry, and that's over 100 years old, that lead acid type of battery. There's been relatively few advances, and the lithium class of batteries is really that next step forward. It's really packs a lot of punch in a very small package. It's what we call high energy density. So the lead acid is really the status quo, because it has a low cost and it is widely available. But there's definitely drawbacks to that technology. It's very easy to damage a lead acid battery, and it just doesn't last very long. So these new lithium batteries, and specifically the lithium iron phosphate battery that we're using, is extremely energy dense, can discharge a huge amount of energy, and is a maintenance-free battery. One of the special features is it does require an onboard battery management system, basically an onboard computer, and that's part of what we're doing here in Colorado is assembling the pack and programming and setting up this sophisticated battery management system to track how the battery is charging and discharging, and helps us integrate that battery into an existing system.
I guess the point, I'm not even sure what question to ask in that. I guess tell us what that intelligence allows us to do with that battery over what we have available now.
Absolutely. So, John, no question too basic here, and we are always happy to help. So that on board our lithium iron battery is that battery management system, or BMS for short. That BMS is tracking every individual component of the battery, which is called a cell. In a lithium battery, there are 16 of those individual cells. We have to make sure that they're all charging at exactly the same level. So this battery management system is tracking each of the cells. And if one of those cells starts charging at a little bit faster rate than the other cells, the battery management system is able to put a small load on that individual cell and hold that charge level of that component right there, keeps it nice and steady while the other cells are able to catch up. And what this does, it keeps the battery safe, it keeps the end user safe, and it's able to provide a level of sophistication in battery tracking that we've never seen before. That those lead acid batteries that we use, it's truly a dumb battery. There's no intelligence there. All we're tracking is battery voltage, but there's so much more going on. With the lithium battery, we're tracking battery temperature, battery current, cell resistance and cell voltage, cell temperatures. And by balancing these cells during the charge and discharge process, we're able to maintain parity really across the battery with the goal of improving performance and extending battery life. So it's definitely a sophisticated system. And I don't want to get, I don't want to scare anybody away with these details. But what we're doing is taking all of this challenge out of the hands of the end user. With a lead acid battery, this is something, John, that you and I could work on over the phone. I could tell you in a couple minutes how to install a lead acid battery. It's simply a matter of hooking up a couple of connections. With a lithium battery, it wouldn't be safe for you to necessarily install a complete battery pack out in the field because of all these sophisticated electronics that go on the cell and on the pack and in the case. So that's what we're taking in-house to our new lithium iron assembly shop here in Colorado. We're taking all that sophistication and putting it together and delivering a plug-and-play battery for an end user.
And I know Vincent had a problem with the lead-acid battery exploding in his office. Do the lithium batteries have similar issues, or are they safer?
Well, it really depends. So within the family of lithium batteries, there's a number of different chemistries available. The type that we're using, lithium iron phosphate, is the safest of the lithium chemistries. The type that the violent reaction that Vincent saw was likely due to overcharging. And that battery management system that I've been talking about is able to prevent overcharging by tracking all the individual cells as well as the pack. And what we do is we tie that battery management system computer into a disconnect that's built into the battery. So if there was an issue of over voltage or overcharge, we have the ability right there on the battery to disconnect the battery from the charge source or even from the load. So we're helping to preserve the life of the battery, increasing safety by, John, I'd rather turn your battery off. I'd rather turn your lights off for a couple minutes until you press the reset button than cause any catastrophic failure that, like Vincent saw with a lead acid battery.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but with the lead acid battery, a lot of times you don't know you have a problem until you have the problem.
That's exactly right. And again, there comes the benefits of having a little bit more sophisticated tracking mechanism located right there on the battery. With a lead acid battery, very rarely is there an external sign of failure. And there's all sorts of failure modes with a lead acid battery. It can be damaged by over discharge, by overcharge, under temperature, over temperature. Lead acid battery can be damaged by discharging too quickly or charging too quickly. It is finicky. It's really a great way to explain how a lead acid battery works when you're working with a lead battery every day. And I'm sure you've experienced this when you've left your headlights on overnight and you were unable to revive that battery the next day. Everybody has experienced this.
It didn't even take that. I drove to work one day and got in the car to go home, and it didn't start. There was no warning.
That's all it takes.
We'll be back after these few commercial messages.
Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you have the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
And this is John Regan with Brandon Williams of Iron Edison. Their website is ironedison.com. And, I could probably in a matter of seconds get people having that deer in the headlight look talking about computers. And I'm hoping we're not to that far down the road with talking about the battery. But I know you have a team of engineers that help people out. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Absolutely. So we're really proud of our team here. We're located just west of Denver in Lakewood, Colorado. We have a team of 6 full-time system designers who are able to help anyone at any stage of the process to understand their energy needs and to make a recommendation that's really specific to each application. So whether it's one solar panel all the way up to a huge solar array, whether it's just a little backup cabin that's weekend use only, all the way to a sophisticated bunker or a whole house backup system, we're able to use components from all the different major manufacturers to really fine tune the type of system and deliver on some really specific energy needs. So this equipment has come such a long way. Everything used to be analog just a couple of years ago. Now we're seeing higher voltages, higher current, higher power from the charge controllers, from the inverters. All of the components are starting to integrate together. And within the last couple of years, all the major equipment manufacturers have been launching online, even if it's a locally based monitoring system. But the amount of data and it's a really clean, super nice interface that all the manufacturers are offering to track energy input and tracking battery voltage and tracking the amount of power going out and being used in the system. So our team of system designers here in Colorado, we help people every day to answer all sorts of questions. I don't want anybody to feel like when we're talking about these really high tech battery systems that it's now beyond their scope of understanding or ability to operate. We're making these batteries plug and play, and we always recommend working with an electrician or a local installer that we're able to. Oftentimes, we're able to recommend somebody we've already worked with. But yeah, we love helping people answer questions about solar, batteries, generator, energy systems in general. So I'd encourage anybody with any level of questions to reach out to our team at Iron Edison and give us a call. We are always happy to help.
I'm looking at the specification sheet on these batteries, and it looks pretty impressive. It talks about how long lasting that is. Could you just discuss that for a minute?
Absolutely. So our company, Iron Edison, was founded on the principle that there are batteries better than what's available today. We started off by offering the nickel iron battery, which was originally invented by Thomas Edison. It's a big, bulky battery, but that's fine for stationary energy storage. Then the lithium battery came along, and it's really, within the last year, the production capabilities of our manufacturers have increased such that the price for the lithium battery has come down to a point where it's now comparable on a cycle life basis to the lead acid battery. What that means is our lithium iron batteries are able to last up to 5,000 cycles or 14 years with everyday use. When you compare that to a lead acid, you're getting 3, 4, 5 years of everyday use. Some people can stretch it a little bit longer, but those people will also tell you that they burn through 1 or 2 sets of batteries in a year as they were starting to learn about how to use their lead acid battery. So the lithium iron chemistry is extremely resilient and will last for decades when treated properly.
Great. This is John Regan, Brandon Williams. We'll be back after the bottom of the hour break.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 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 The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now. 1-800-957-9364. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free, with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-957-9364. That's 1-800-957-9364. 1-800-957-9364.
Think about this. Your community's aging water infrastructure systems are very likely to be contaminated with heavy metals like lead, disinfection chemicals like ammonia, chlorine and chloramines, and pharmaceuticals like statins, pain meds, and antidepressants. And no, water treatment plants are not equipped to filter these pharmaceutical toxins out. Protect your family's water supply with the trusted Big Berkey water filter. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show Big Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria, and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification, and our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
It's John Regan sitting in for Vincent today. We have Brandon Williams with us from Iron Edison, and we have a caller, Sharon from Montana. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning. I have a quick question. We've lived off-grid 13 and a half years, and we moved to a new place, and we're now currently able to do the same thing. But you were talking about the ability of the battery to monitor itself. How does that work with power, since the batteries power your solar system? If you're using it in that system, how is it able to monitor itself and not use extra power to it?
Sharon, great question. So if you've been living off the grid for 13 and a half years, you know that monitoring your battery is critical to understanding how much energy you can use right now, whether you need to run the generator, whether you need to conserve, or whether, if it's clear and sunny, now's the time to do the heavy lifting around the house. To answer your question, the battery management system is on board the battery. It is taking just a tiny amount of energy, just a few watts of energy, to track the energy that's coming in and going out of the battery system. What it allows us to do is, if your battery is getting too low, we actually have the ability to communicate now. This is really next generation integration with the charge controllers and inverters. We're able to integrate our battery directly into an existing system, so that when the battery is getting full, we can send a signal upstream to your charge controller or to your inverter to stop charging. And additionally, when the battery gets too low, rather than running the battery down to a state that's going to cause damage to the cells, we're able to momentarily disconnect the battery from the load. And so that's, in the short term, a little inconvenient because you may have to go down there and press a button. But what it's going to do is really just remind you that we've reached a low state of charge. If your system incorporates or doesn't incorporate auto gen start, that would be a reminder to go down and start the gen. So Are you using a lead acid battery in your system now?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we did that. My husband is a journeyman electrician, and we got like 10 years off our batteries, but he's very careful at monitoring it. So, yeah. But I was just wondering how that worked, because it had to be, I didn't realize you used part of the battery to do that. I was just curious. That's all I had to ask. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sharon. It's just a tiny fraction of the energy that's coming in and out of a system. It's really just probably as much as a cell phone charger would use. It also, the onboard system allows you to actually plug in a laptop computer to the battery so that you could gather data and you can track right there on your laptop computer the battery state of charge. You can look at battery temperature. As I mentioned, there's 16 individual cells in a lithium iron pack. You can track each one of those cells individually, or you can track the battery as a whole. So it's a friendly graphic user interface that's available. In addition to the ability to plug a laptop right into the battery, we also have a fuel gauge that is permanently attached to the front of the battery. So just like getting in your car, when you turn it on, it's very similar. Living off the grid is a lot like getting in your car. You really have to pay attention to the gauges. You have to understand how much is coming in, how much is going out, and how much energy you have left in the tank. So these onboard systems are really important to help us understand the battery state of charge and the battery state of health and battery temperature. It's just giving us another level of sophistication as we're tracking the performance of the battery as a component in a complete energy system.
I just had that main question, so thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
And thanks for the call. I don't know if you knew, I used to work for one of the electric companies here, and the way things work in Texas, they split it up, and I was in the part that did the electric delivery. I did learn a little bit about the power generation, and then the third part of the way they split things up was the retail. So the average person just deals with the retailer of their choice, and then the other two segments are still heavily regulated. And on our side, we're the ones that have the wires all the way to the houses and did the meter reading, all of that stuff. And just learning that some of the challenges you have on the power creation side, especially when you get these hot days in Texas, you have to be able to generate a certain capacity, or you start having problems with brownouts or even worse, blackouts. And basically there's not stored electricity in that system. They're having to either ramp up generators or bring additional generators online. And when you flip over to the solar panel side of things, you're getting that power while the sun's out, but once you don't have the sun, you have to do something, and that something is the battery. And I guess you could talk a little bit about how much you need in order to do what you're trying to achieve.
Well, John, you bring up a really important point, and with the way that the grid is always there, but there's solar is what we call an intermittent energy source. So even in Texas in the afternoons, when you start to get the clouds rolling through, it may be bright and sunny 1 minute, the next minute cloudy, and then back to sunny again. So there's some really, really interesting challenges being faced by utility companies who are mandated by state law to integrate up to 30 or 40% of energy on the grid as a renewable source. For the utility, the battery is starting to play a very important role. It's really in test cases right now, but they're really looking at rolling this out in a major way in the next coming years, where you may see batteries in shipping containers at the neighborhood level, where the energy being generated by folks with solar panels or just in general, the electricity would be stored at the neighborhood level. And then when everybody gets home from work at the same time, around 5, 6 o'clock at night, everybody turns on their stove, everybody turns on their air conditioner. There's a huge demand on the grid at that time. And rather than investing in a new generator plant or even new distribution lines, the utilities are seriously considering putting these neighborhood level batteries out so that they're able to deliver those peak demands from local battery systems rather than from a new natural gas plant, and definitely not from a new coal plant, because it just takes so long for a coal plant to ramp up and ramp down. So the battery, no matter what chemistry they pick, has a very important role in the future stability of the grid.
I get to see a lot of news, but I have very little time to research things. And I was wondering, are there any solar cells that they're able to do without using silver?
Without using silver?
Yes.
So would that be like, so the solar cells are really an amazing piece of technology. They essentially, the story I like to tell, they basically dip a crystal into a bath until it forms a large block of crystal that looks like a salami. They take that and slice it up into the solar cells, and then you have a slice of silicon that's placed on a sheet. Over that sheet is they then place the tin solder, and this is where I believe the silver would be coming in is in the silver, or in the solder used to connect all of those solar cells together. But when you take a really close look at the solar panels, you can see all those tiny lines etched into the solar panel. It's absolutely incredible for me to think about turning sunshine into electricity right there. So if the listeners, if you have a chance, take a close look, call a solar installer, visit a local solar shop, and have them show you how this technology works. It's incredible in its simplicity because there's no moving parts, and it's just remarkable how it's able to harness the power of the sun to power your whole house. And it's really not a lot different than what you're doing now. It may take a little bit more input on your side to track what's going on, but it is absolutely incredible how far this technology has come in such a short period. One of the major advances, John, that we're seeing with solar panels is not just efficiency, but the ability to start to harness energy outside of the visible spectrum of light. And as you may know, the visible spectrum takes up just a small fraction of the total wavelength. And so what researchers are working on right now is the ability to pick up infrared wavelength, where in addition to catching photons, now we're catching essentially thermal energy as well outside of the visible spectrum to increase the amount of power that's being collected by a solar panel. So I see all amazing advances being made in batteries and in solar and inverter technology. I see so much great work that's happening in the lab, and it's really interesting to see how that's now trickling out into consumer available equipment.
I'm John Regan, Brandon Williams. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, We designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
This is John Regan sitting in for Vincent, and one of the things about being a guest host, you don't do it very often and you forget to do some things. One of those is to announce the call-in number. That's 1-866-582-9933. That's 1-866-582-9933. I have Brandon Williams here with us today from IronEdison.com. And fortunately, some of you already have the number written down, like Kyle from Montana. Good morning, Kyle.
Yes. Yeah, good morning, John. Brandon, I had a couple of questions. We're running a lead-acid system now, and I got approximately 1,200 amp hours. I've set up the charge controller to run on about the top 12% of those batteries. And as everybody knows that lives off the grid, you live and die by the amp. So my question is, do these lithium, I have a twofold question. Number one, do these lithium batteries, are you able to run them lower on than 12%? That's how we got 11 and a half years out of our system before with the lead acid. But I'm wondering, are you able to run them lower, number one? And number two, are you in the process, or do you have available like 80-pound batteries that are 6-volt that I could still hook up into my system if I wanted to, that I could carry down to the basement to be able to run a 24-volt system?
Kyle, thanks for your questions. With your your 1,200 amp hour lead acid battery, as you said, you're only using 12% of that battery on a daily basis. So that just shows you to preserve the life of a lead acid battery, we would recommend in general to only use a fraction of that total battery capacity. So the answer to your first question is yes. With the lithium ion battery, you can use up to 50% of the battery capacity on a daily basis, with an expected life up to 5,000 cycles. That's just shy of 14 years running 50% depth of discharge. If you bring that back to only 40% or 30% depth of discharge, then you're looking at an even longer cycle life, 6,000 or 7,000 cycles. So the lithium batteries were designed for an extremely heavy-duty application of running an electric vehicle. Like the cells we use are big, large format cells, similar to your lead acid cells in size and shape, but they're designed for an electric bus where a huge electrical loads. So the off-grid energy system is such an easy life for these lithium batteries. So we're expecting 15 years or more of life out of these batteries with everyday use. So absolutely, you can use more than you are using right now with a lead acid battery. And your second question, in regards to breaking these down into their individual components, we are now working with customers who are designing systems for boats and RVs, for telecom towers, for data center backup, and for home energy storage. So our shop and our team has the ability to customize a solution to meet your specific needs. So rather than breaking it down to each individual cell, what we've been able to do for one of our favorite customers who has a house an off-grid house in downtown Nashville, we are able to break the pack down into 2 or 3 blocks that he's able to bring his friends in, kind of 4-man lift it and bring it down the stairs. At which point we're connecting. We have bus bars and cables to connect it all together. So although it's not an individual block, we can break it down to a smaller size to bring it down into your basement.
Excellent. Thank you.
Absolutely, Kyle.
Did you have any other questions?
No, that's good. Thank you, John. Is he going to be on the next hour, too?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Thanks for your call.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have. for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all-natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
Welcome to hour number 2 of USA Prepares. This is John Regan sitting in for Vincent today. In case you weren't here for the top of the last hour, it's just Vincent's got some things he has to take care of, and when that happens during broadcast time, we have two choices: either have a guest host, which is me, or go with a replay. And we decided the best thing to do was to let me guest host and let the information get out to the classroom. We're playing it a bit by ear. I'll probably be guest hosting through Thursday. It just depends on how everything gets done. And so that's what's up there. Also want to let you know that tonight in Springfield, Missouri, fellow instructor Dr. Joel Wallach will be doing a seminar on the ins and outs of health. This will be at the Holiday Inn on North Glenstone. The registration starts at 6 p.m. The seminar is at 7. If you want more information, our USA Prepares representative, Jim Stewart, can be reached at 417-863-7149. Tonight's the last night, and the seminar is free. And also next weekend, June 25th and 26th, the RK Prepper Show will be in Springfield, Missouri, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. Several of your USA Prepares instructors will be there, including Dr. Richard Allen Miller, Matt Stein, Craig Douglas, and some guy named Vincent Finelli. USA Prepares will be having a meetup at Jimmy's Egg. If you want to come in, Dutch treat, dinner's available for less than $10. That's on Saturday night, June 25th at 6 p.m. And so you can meet and mingle with a lot of the instructors. Vincent does want you to email him, Vincent@usaprepares.com, if you plan on attending, so that they can get a good count and reserve space. He's asked that you put USA Prepares Reunion in the subject line, and students, instructors, and guests are all welcome. Also like to give out web links, and if you go to usaprepares.com on the instructor tab, you can find today's guest, Brandon Williams, with his website, ironedison.com. That's number 1 under the Energy Solutions section. The next section below that's Financial and Legal, and you'll see me and my site, the Financial State of the Union, and that's a lot easier to click to than type in. I don't think I've used up the entire segment on announcements. Brandon, I also know you've got an event this weekend where Iron Edison will be at Energy Fair in Custer, Wisconsin. Would you like to tell us about that?
Exactly right. We're taking half of the team up to Custer, Wisconsin, which is right in the heart of central Wisconsin. It's hosted by the Midwest Renewable Energy Society. It's called the Energy Fair. They expect over 15,000 attendees to come and learn about clean energy, sustainability. These events are great because there's all sorts of exhibitors, from solar specialists to gardening, sufficiency, water treatment and purification. We really, these are great events where people can come out, learn about solar, learn about sustainability, learn about healthy living. And we're really excited to go out there. We're going to be showing off our lithium iron demonstration battery. It's a fully functional battery in and of itself. It's really like a modern day science fair project. We're showing off how we're actually incorporating an entire solar energy system right into one battery just for demonstration purposes. But it's also kind of a glimpse forward into next generation battery design, where we're able to actually bring all the components of an energy system into the battery container, into the battery case. So we're going to be showing off a solar system with a solar charge controller. We've got the battery with the battery management system, all the fusing and contactor, the computer monitoring for the battery. And we also have an onboard inverter. So we're going to be charging up some cell phones. It's just doing some demonstration to show how much energy is being stored in the battery. So we'd invite anybody in the area to make the trip to Custer, Wisconsin on the June 17th, 18th, and 19th to join us at the Energy Fair.
It sounds like it's going to be a good time. And in all my announcements, I failed to announce the call-in number. That's 1-866-582-9933. And as we were finishing up last hour, you started talking about other applications for the batteries besides just having them in your home for storing the energy from the solar powers.
That's right. So John, we this new work with the lithium iron batteries has really opened the door up to some really exciting new applications. Those four areas, and we'll touch on them briefly, and then we can jump into more details as you want to. First, we're seeing a lot of excitement from the RV world, where people are retrofitting old RVs and replacing lead-acid battery banks with a lithium battery bank. And because we're offering a plug-and-play solution, we're actually able to fit almost twice as much power in the same space that a lead-acid battery was taking up. So this isn't, we're really trying to customize these and find the best fit, but we're seeing that buses and coaches and other RV fifth wheels are a really good fit for the lithium battery, where people are finding that the lead-acid batteries, especially in that application, just don't last very long. And it's what a bummer to be out, camping in the middle of the woods and have your heater or your lights go out because your lead-acid battery just can't hold a charge anymore. So, the RV market's a great application. Next, we have boats and yachts. In the last week, we have designed systems for house batteries on both sailboats and motorboats. And we also are now designing electric propulsion motor systems. So we have two boat designers and builders that are pulling out the diesel and the tank, and they are retrofitting a 10 kilowatt electric motor that will give the end user 5, 6, 7 hours worth of range on a lead battery. And we're trying to double that, if not more, with a lithium battery. So we're talking about 10 plus hours of cruising time with an electric motor in a boat. So, silent operation, no fumes, no smell. This is a great fit for this application. It's really, really exciting to see the development of electric motors in boats, where it's typically been dominated by gas and diesel. That's just kind of a sign of the times right now. And then the last two applications that we're starting to focus in on are telecommunication and data center backup. And we have some amazing opportunities working with telecommunications providers that have very remote towers, relay towers. And instead of running a generator or two generators 24 hours a day, by installing a small solar array and a battery bank, we are able to cut generator runtimes up to 80%. In the first week of operation of one of our newest and largest batteries that was using a solar system already, but a lead acid battery, it was seeing 4 hours of gen time and 4 hours of battery time. We're now seeing, with a bigger battery, 8 hours of gen time and 30 hours of battery time. So that lead acid battery was on its last legs. It wasn't performing very well, but we doubled the gen runtime, but we have times 5 or more the length of time running on the lithium battery. So those large scale commercial applications, this battery technology is a great fit because companies are demanding more energy, and they're not really able to expand the infrastructure, the building at the base of a cell phone tower. So the lithium ion battery is a great fit for those applications because we can fit so much more energy into a smaller room using this technology. And then beyond that, it's maintenance free. So the lithium ion battery, it is a plug and play, set and forget type of operation. The end user is able to remotely monitor. Again, this is where the benefits of being able to plug right in. The customers or these industrial or commercial customers are monitoring generators. They're monitoring their inverters, their rectifiers. They're monitoring the load. They're monitoring the radio equipment. And now they really, really like the ability to monitor the battery and track performance and see if there's anything going wrong weeks and months in advance to be able to prepare crew to go out there and fix the system. So, we're going to see this is home energy storage is just the tip of the iceberg, although that is a growing market. We're seeing that there's so many commercial applications for battery systems that really the goal is to help save people money. And what it comes down to is making an investment upfront in the infrastructure, in the chargers, the inverters, and the battery to be able to offset some costs down the road.
It's Brandon Williams, John Regan. We'll be back after this break.
Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, I'm 54 years of age, and at Christmas time last year, a resident I take care of at work accidentally rolled over my right foot with his motorized scooter. I was backed into a corner, and he put it in reverse and did it again. The bones in my foot weren't actually broken, but damage was done. The remedy was to just let the foot heal on its own, and this was expected to take many weeks. As a caregiver, I do a lot of walking, and I was sort of okay when I was in motion. It's when I stopped to rest that I really felt the pain. The pain was there getting out of bed in the morning, too. So I got on the One World Way a few weeks back, and I just had to write this testimony. No more pain. Nothing. I can only attribute this to the One World Way since I haven't introduced anything else into my life. This product is a true godsend. It gives me energy and did whatever magic this stuff does to heal my poor foot. I will take One World Way for life. Sincerely, Holly.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Vaping enthusiasts, head to vaporpalace.com. Choose from over 150 flavors and a selection of exclusive private stock vapor liquid you won't find anywhere else. New flavors are added every month, and our customer service is unbeatable. Vaporpalace.com offers 15% off all vapor liquid on Fridays and get 10% off every order with coupon code VAPOR10 at checkout. Combine the codes on Fridays for 25% off. The ultimate destination for the vaping enthusiast. Vaporpalace.com.
It's John Regan with Brandon Williams. You know, you're talking about data center applications, and while I'm not current in that, back in 2004, I was IT director for a marina management company, and we had marinas all across, well, at least from Texas through the eastern side of the country. And it's quite challenging when you're a medium-sized business like that, because there's so much that you just can't afford to do. And we ended up co-locating our servers in AT&T data center. And when you go into one of those things, it's almost like a trip to another world. The security that they have built into there, the size of the facility is a little bit mind-blowing. They have a lot of large customers in there, and when you're in there and you've got part of a rack filled in, you can feel a little bit inadequate at times. But what they have is all of the air conditioning, all of the power and the backup power. They would actually run off of battery, which was connected to the grid. And that way, if the grid ever went down, which, this North Texas and with the storms we get, things happen. Because it was running off battery, there was never any kind of drop in power from that switch over to the diesel generators. And it's just not possible to do something like that. And when you're running offices in a building somewhere, it's just too much, and you don't have control of the infrastructure. So I really understand the needs for the battery backup, because so much is run on the internet nowadays, and the internet requires power, and if you don't have that power, then that starts costing businesses big time.
That's exactly right. And those data centers are really, like you said, it's like stepping into another world. We had the pleasure of taking a couple teammates to meet at a local large data center. And during the tour, it was absolutely incredible to see how much power is being used. The scale and the scope of those centers is almost beyond comprehension. And what's happening in that field now in data centers and in computer infrastructure in general is one server rack used to be allocated about 1 kilowatt or 1,000 watts of electricity. The current generation of routing equipment can now draw 4 kilowatts of energy per rack. That rack's about the size of a refrigerator. So we've quadrupled the energy needs in one rack. And we have the opportunity to look at some next generation routing equipment that's actually using 16 kilowatts of energy per rack, which means in a matter of years, and as internet speeds increase and as demands on the internet grow, so do the energy requirements for powering the infrastructure. We are seeing that the data centers are moving from a positively grounded negative 48 volt system or negative 52 volt system, and they are stepping it up to a midpoint ground 380 volt system. So those they're looking to really expand the capability of the bus bars and all the equipment that's already installed in those data centers, because the choke point, as Kyle, the caller earlier, mentioned, the data centers also live and die by the amp. And the bus bars that they've run through to carry the energy from the battery room or from the generators out to the server equipment can only carry so many amps. So these commercial and industrial scale customers are looking to increase the battery voltage or increase the bus voltage so that they can carry more power, more electricity at the same ampacity. So it is, we are seeing some amazing advancements in energy storage and distribution, even in those commercial scale applications.
This is John Regan with Brandon Williams. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
If you have sleep apnea and you're tired of dragging around your big, bulky home CPAP device wherever you travel, what I'm about to tell you may sound too good to be true. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Even better, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for a full 10 days. Call us now, 1-800-940-5473. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. It's true. You can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere, anytime you want. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day in-home trial. 1-800-940-5473. That's 1-800-940-5473.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a select quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
This is Sean Regan at the controls today. Have Brandon Williams of Iron Edison. And I do want to apologize just a little for the last segment. We did get awfully technical, but I think that also points out how nice and how important it is to have professionals doing what Iron Edison does, because you can explain your situation and what you're trying to accomplish and call their engineers. Brandon?
That's exactly right. I invite anyone to give us a call to talk about how we can incorporate solar and batteries to help save you money. If I can, I'd love to give out the phone number for our design team at 720-432-6433. We have a whole team of system designers. They work for us because they love what they do. Our team is passionate about solar and batteries. We just spent the weekend as a team going out camping together. We put together a small solar and off-grid system, and we went out and spent the weekend together. It was a great time, team bonding, but it's really great, the relationship that we have as a team. And we literally love what we do. So, I can't stress enough how everybody on our team is dedicated to helping people learn, helping answer questions. This is really exciting stuff, John. It is cutting edge technology that is revolutionizing the way that people use and store electricity. So it's a really exciting time. It's revolutionary technology, and we want to help people learn and understand how to use it. And if I can't talk about my system for a second, it is a great middle of the road. It's powerful enough to run my entire house when I need to. I've got my heater, my lights, my refrigerator, my TV. Basically, my entire house is running on a dedicated electrical panel that's powered by solar during the day, that uses a battery overnight, and then automatically, when the battery gets low in the middle of the night, the system will switch on and allow the grid to come on and keep the fridge cold, keep the computer running, deliver seamless power overnight, and then tomorrow morning when the sun comes up again, the system will automatically turn the grid off and go back to running off the grid. So this type of setup is what we call behind the meter. And in this system, we really don't even need a agreement with our local utility. We're not selling back power unless we really need to. That requires its own agreement. But it would be like if you went out and bought yourself a brand new energy efficient refrigerator. You wouldn't have to call your utility and say, "Hey, I just upgraded to a more efficient system." So we do always recommend getting it permitted and working with a local electrician to safely install the system. That's to prevent any sort of fire or any sort of hazard down the road. So that's different than going through the paperwork and the headache of working with the utility. But these are essentially, the solar system is an efficiency appliance. We're able to use the solar energy and use the battery energy and only draw from the grid as needed. And we don't even have to sell back to the grid. So we can avoid the smart meters or the digital meters because we're never pushing that energy back upstream.
And I happen to notice in talking about the battery here that, governments and standards organizations get involved, and there's been changes to the National Electric Code, and you talk about how this new battery includes an onboard fuse and DC disconnect. I was wondering if you might want to address that.
Absolutely. So safety is number one concern, and just like you have a circuit breaker box to protect all the plugs in your house, we also have many circuit breakers and overcurrent protection in the battery and all the other parts of equipment that we use. As part of the new revision of the National Electric Code, any battery cable that's longer than 5 feet needs to have a fuse or overcurrent protection on the battery side of the system. This would be to prevent, if there was a short circuit in the battery, to prevent that energy from continuing to go out and flood back into the system. So our new lithium iron batteries incorporate, as I said before, a DC disconnect on the battery, but we also have that NEC or the code required fusing located right there on the battery. Again, we'd rather have you blow out a fuse or open up that disconnect than cause any sort of catastrophic meltdown, which frankly happens. Batteries and lead acid batteries, they off gas hydrogen, and there's a lot of short circuit potential. They're full of acid, and a lot of times that the lead acid battery has a vent cap at the top, which can expose the user to acid spray, sulfuric acid fumes, even in, I've been reading about batteries in submarines. If you submerge a lead acid battery in seawater, it's going to create chlorine gas. That's a terrible situation, albeit rare, but still, it just kind of goes to show you that there are dangers when we're storing a huge amount of energy in such a small package. So for us at Iron Edison, we have multiple layers of safety built into the battery through the computer monitor, through the fuse, through the disconnect, through an on-off switch. If all else fails, all of those systems would fail to the open position and would stop the energy from flowing through the system. So we'd rather We'd rather keep the end user safe than keep delivering power through a failure event on the battery.
Last hour you did talk about how that your new lithium iron phosphate battery is safer, but we didn't really get into that. This might be a good point to take a little side trip where you can compare that to other types of lithium batteries that are out there, that some of which have the extra benefit of burning to your house down.
That's right. And so the lithium iron phosphate chemistry that we're using is the safest in that lithium class. Specifically, there's a lithium cobalt and a lithium manganese, and those are similar to what's in a laptop or a cell phone, or even in the Tesla electric vehicle. Those other lithium cobalt blends are able to deliver a huge amount of power, an unbelievable amount of power in a very, very short period of time. But they sacrifice safety and thermal stability for those extreme discharge rates. So what we're talking about is like compared to it's like comparing gasoline to rocket fuel. The lithium's up in the rocket fuel category. And rather than, we have the safest version of that rocket fuel with the lithium iron phosphate chemistry. So if the test they use is to pierce a cell with a nail, pierce the battery with a nail and see what happens. With the other lithium chemistries, what we see is plasma and hot gas and sparks and flames shoot out of that battery. That's a terrible thing. You never want to see that happen. But we did see that happen, like with the hoverboard videos that were around a couple months ago. The reason why that was happening is they were using low-quality battery management systems with no onboard contactor, no onboard fusing, and using a more volatile chemistry to get a little bit more power into those smaller packages. So again, I would be happy to sacrifice 1 or 2% of power. We're already leaps and bounds ahead of the lead acid competition, but I'll sacrifice a little bit in the name of safety. With the lithium iron phosphate cells that we're using in that same nail test, the only thing that's going to come out of our cell is steam. So we're not going to see like plasma or hot gas or sparks or flames. We're going to see that battery steam and not catch fire. So that's why we picked this chemistry. I feel like in 10 or 15 years, when we see this kind of pan out, lithium iron phosphate will be the chemistry of choice because of its inherent safety characteristics. It's just leaps and bounds safer than anything else out there. And maybe for race cars or some really extreme sports or some really extreme applications, we'll see these other chemistries still find some place. But for general everyday use, the lithium iron phosphate chemistry is absolutely the way to go.
Yeah, and I've seen people that have replaced the battery in their notebook or their cell phone, and they end up with a fire there too. People have had the cell phones basically blow up in their pocket. Not a good thing. Batteries really aren't something you can skimp on.
That's exactly right. And the safety systems to go around them, we're talking about storing huge amounts of energy in your pocket, in your backpack, or in your house. So it's important to be careful. We always recommend following the National Electric Code. We always recommend working with a local electrician and following all the rules and regulations. Those regulations were written not to make people's lives more difficult, but they were written by firefighters to protect customers and to protect houses and to protect first responders. So I can respect that. I mean, I understand, it sometimes it creates some extra challenges in following the code, but when you understand why the code exists, it's really the health, safety, and welfare of everybody, and keeping us safe when we're using these high power energy systems.
Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision and independence to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. It's the leading cause of blindness in adults 55 and older. Some of us are at greater risk for AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD. If left untreated, it can lead to blindness. The good news? With early detection, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that can reduce or even reverse some vision loss. Learning that you have AMD can be scary, but there's hope and help. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is researching and developing treatments and cures for AMD. To get your free AMD information packet, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness today at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. Join the fight against AMD, because together there is a cure in sight.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using the computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks On Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks On Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you are having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks On Site, 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis, 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks On Site for friendly certified computer repair experts, available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682, 1-800-591-1682.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to goberkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. goberkey.com.
This is John Regan with Brandon Williams of Iron Edison. Well, Brandon, we're down to about the last 5 minutes, so why don't you take this opportunity to give us your contact information again and remind us about the energy fair coming up this weekend, and then you have your choice of if there's other things you want to talk about or want to just wrap up, whichever way you want to go.
Well, John, it's been a pleasure speaking with you again. It's always great to be on the air. I always appreciate this opportunity to speak to your audience and Vincent's audience. So thank you very much for having me today. It's truly an honor to be here. You can reach our team of system designers or me. I'd be happy to talk to any of the listeners personally. I am the lead system designer at Iron Edison, so most of the designs do come by my desk and get approval one way or the other. So I'm more than happy to work with any of the listeners personally, or with I'd invite you to give us a call anytime during normal business hours at 720-432-6433. Again, that phone number is 720-432-6433. We do a lot of work on keeping the website up to date with tons of information on all the different parts of the system, the solar, battery, chargers, and inverters. The website is ironedison.com. And we will be at the Energy Fair in Custer, Wisconsin this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in central Wisconsin. It's a little out of the way, but it is a huge event. It is such a fun event. I'm really excited to go there. There's live music. There's bands. There's going to be over 200 exhibitors. We're in tents, so it's kind of an open air exhibit, but even if there is a little bit of rain or drizzle, it looks good. But even if there is a little bit of rain, it's all under some big tents, and there's camping, so it's really like a reunion for many of the solar for many folks in the solar energy industry, and it's great. It's like a state fair meets an energy fair, so we're really excited about that. Later this summer, we will be at another event called the Battery Show, which is right outside of Detroit, Michigan. That's kind of focusing more on commercial and industrial application, but it's also open to the public, and I'd invite anybody up in that area to come join us. You're always welcome. Anybody in the area is welcome to come and stop by our office and check out our lithium production facility right outside of Denver, Colorado. We'd be happy to have you meet the whole team, talk about your system, show you the nickel iron or the lithium iron batteries, and really show you what we're doing. It's exciting. We have 2 offices and a warehouse, and we'll be there for another year or so till we outgrow that facility and double or triple our size to meet we can only fit 2 or 3 shipping containers of batteries where we are right now. It's amazing we're able to fill that space as it is, but already we're filling it up. So we're looking at getting ready to move to an even bigger facility in the Denver area. So again, anybody who wants to come by or give us a call or send us an email, we love to help. So we'd invite anybody to give us a call, 720-432-6433. If you have questions about how to use solar at your home, how to save some money at your business, or just looking to see if you have some new experimental project that you're working on, we are always happy to talk to you and help steer you in the right direction and get you on the right, get you going on the right track to using the right equipment. So again, thank you for this opportunity, John. It's always great to be with you.
Thank you, Brandon. It probably wouldn't hurt to also mention that these batteries are designed and assembled here in the United States.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being with us. In class, remember, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This is David Cordani, CEO of Cigna. For more than 20 years, Cigna has worked with the March of Dimes to address premature births in the U.S. Premature births cause horrible suffering and cost billions of dollars each year. That's why Cigna is committed to raising funds and awareness through our employees, family, and friends to improve the health of moms and babies. Please join us in supporting the March for Babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, November, Sports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.